Marquis Saint. Who's ready for some boom, baby, boom? Rise and shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the most, this Mark Saint. This is Saint's Addiction. And every morning I'm on a mission to reach, preach, and teach to everyone. And this morning is no different, except for today is Independence Day here in Pennsylvania. And at 9 o'clock in the morning, overall in that distance, I just heard fireworks, bum, 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 waking the whole neighborhood up this morning. That's why you can hear the birds chirping. And I was like, man, is that not a boom, baby, boom moment for the morning marijuana motivation? What's better than fireworks to start off the show? I'm pissed it didn't start right on time. I was like literally listening to the concussions going off the buildings, but now we're ready to shine. Let's lock it in. Shall we? Shall we? All right, Saints Addiction is all about independence, right? I mean, that's the whole point of my anarchy symbol, is to have real independence. And the tough part for most of us is when I usually say like anarchy, it's such a rebellion. It's such a different way of thinking that most people think that there's going to be chaos behind it. And I'm sure there's some chaos and change, but I didn't want ultimate anarchy. I didn't want, like, hospitals to have problems, schools to have problems. I didn't want any of that to start. Oh, thanks for watching and liking right off the bat, bro. I just started the show. I've been blocked for a whole week, so I'm uncensored. I've been doing a show every day, but I haven't been able to upload it. So I got 7 videos to go. Let's go. That I've been making because I was blocked for my shit. Humboldt morning, homie. Thank you. Let's get some motivation going. And the whole thing was independent of what, bro? We're going to talk about Independence Day. What are we independent from? And all week long, all I've been talking about is just really, of course, you're going to talk about health, wealth, and happiness. But, with my friend dying and me still being here in Pittsburgh, I really got to see people's character, right? Not for nothing, we ain't going to live forever. And while we are here, we have certain things that control us, or we let control us. There's not just fear, but it's also expectations. It's also attitudes, and these things are internal. These are all choices, up to you. You make the best decision. But like I posted this morning when the girl was like, a lot of people aren't doing their shadow work. They're not independent from what's affected them in the past. They're not independent from what they will do in the future. They literally are dictated by usually like a parent or a boss or a fear to tell them what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And that's not very independent, right? Like, as an independent thinker, or somebody that's willing to think for themselves, make decisions on their own without the encompassment of someone else, then you know what's going on, right? Then you know that you have some sort of internal power, right? This is what my aunt would tell you, is it's called empowerment. In my power, I am meant to do something. I'm meant to do something with my independent thinking. I'm meant to do something with my positivity, and I'm meant to do something with my motivation. Now, this is up to you. You're independently thinking all the time. The thing that I realized is that some of these things aren't very independent, right? Like, they're very dependent, right? They're dependent on your environment, they're dependent on your genetics, and they're dependent on your choices. It's so weird because they're so secretive, like, it might be something like fucking ice cream, right? You'll be like, oh, I don't feel too well today. I had a bad conversation. Boom. I'm in the ice cream aisle. Now, I put on some of the weight coming back into the States, right? I put on some of this weight, but I see that they sneak it in everywhere you can't wait, right? Like, whether it be the dessert at dinner, whether it be the Dairy Queen down the street, whether it be a promotion for something very, very sweet. We went to the milkshake factory. I don't know if you've ever been there. God damn, that must have been 1,000 calories in one shake, a $10 shake. And they're making these while you wait so you can pump yourself full of sugar. And there is no one stopping you. That's the best part. As independent as you want to be, There's no one stopping you from filling yourself completely with all the calories. You didn't make the meal, so odds are they have preservatives, sodium, salt, and a lot of sugar, right? Odds are the portions are really ridiculous, out of control. Odds are you probably ordered desserts or a drink, right? You can hop down the street, literally from restaurant to milkshake factory to bar, and just waste away all the gains. I mean, there's almost like no independent thinking, and that's what they're asking of you, right? That's what they're expecting of you. Because if you don't independently think, if you just mindlessly spend and swipe, right? Why would you ever need vegetables? As I look at the vegetable garden over here, right? Because you'll just go and buy the $6 watermelon that are out there, right? What did we see the other day that was like ridiculously expensive? $10 block of cheese. Uh, you name it. You only have to go in the grocery store to see that the prices are up. But how many of those things did you already eat, had the seed, and could have grown yourself? That's independence, right? How many of us are out here collecting this rainwater in the morning? That's independence. How many of us are not getting on our phones but going outside to exercise? That's independence. And how many of us don't have a boss to wake us up in the morning and start yelling at us to get up? Do you need a boss to get up? Are you an independent person enough to dictate yourself what time you need to get up, where you need to be, and what you need to bring? That's what I love about college, bro. It taught me, okay, I got to park here at the Boyer State Student Union. Then I got to walk down here. I'm going to need my biology book and my sociology book, because after biology, sociology is right down the street. Oh, don't forget your homework either, Mark, and you're going to need some lunch money, because after that, you're going to be hungry. Let's go eat at the Moyer State Student Union with the last $5 that I got. That's all planning. That's all in my head from years of college and having years of being an older brother. Maybe you can call it a skill set, but what needs to happen and what order is important for a human being. That structure, right, that we have, that, like, I don't know how independent you can be if you can't do it off of structure, right? Like, if you don't have some kind of habitual, repetitive behavior, then you're not independent. Then it doesn't say Saints Independence. It was Saints Addiction. I was addicted to something. I was dependent on it. And what I read from somewhere else, and I'll put that up there next morning, not only about shadow work, but it said something to the effect of addiction is giving up everything for one thing, and sobriety is giving up one thing for everything. And I thought that was the perfect example of addictions. This is so fucking true. That's what we do, bro. We look to the sugars to guide us, right? We look to the social medias to guide us. We look to circumstances to guide us instead of our character, right? Instead of inside being independent and going, this is what I decide. Now, let's go into the histories, shall we? I was just telling her, not only was it the French Revolution, but there was a Russian Revolution too. There's going to be a time where people don't want to be suppressed anymore, where they don't want to be under your thumb. And trust in me and believe me, those times be coming. And when you're independent of things, right, that means you're not stuck to things. And that means detachment. And that's exactly one of those spiritual terms, one of those Native American, Indian, Eastern philosophy of independence, right? Is how independent are your thoughts. Like a lot of us, you become free thinkers, especially during college, where you're not near your parents, you're not near their dogma, you're not near their control. You can start freely thinking for yourself. And then to make those decisions freely is independence. There's some countries where that's not allowed. Just ask Hong Kong, when they used to be extremely democratic, and then China took over, and now they got people busted up in the streets. It's over. It's over. None of you have lived there, I promise you. I've lived in China, me personally, in Xi'an for 5 months, and you feel like you're free because no one's really controlling you. They got police, they got traffic, they got internet, but try getting on the internet. That's right, try getting on the internet without a VPN. Yep, yeah, if you don't have another way to get around the Chinese firewall and use another internet protocol and IP address, you're not getting on Facebook. You're not quickly getting on Twitter and Pornhub and checking out the things that you independently want to, right? It's like kids in a candy store. Without a budget and without their parents, they're grabbing everything, right? Like without self-control or abandonment, that's just what ends up happening. It's crazy to me, but it's true. See that here? Yeah, but that's independence. Independent of fear that trickles in. Ooh, I keep showing it off, but I'm telling you, I'm an avid bird watcher. Look, they come out every morning and chill and sing me songs. I feel like Cinderella or Snow White. They just come by and say hi. Hi, you're on live. Look, he's like, sup, y'all. Morning. How you chirping? I doing good. What about your wood? Up and good? Up in the wood? And they're gonna start listening. Look, they're listening to all the little scatter. And what's really cool is all the purple. Look, she's up and gone. All the purple flowers came out, and then there's like a blue jay up there. And yesterday I saw a cardinal down there. It makes me aware, and I don't think most of us are aware because most of us have never been someplace where it is rare, like a Muslim country, right? Like in Turkey, where you're not just gonna get a run around wearing whatever you want to wear. You talk about independence, they got hijabs, they got gowns, they cover their faces. And this is on a regular basis. This is something that happens in Qatar. This is something that happens in the Middle East on a regular basis. Their independence gets to be suppressed. You're talking about free speech. I can't have free speech on this. As soon as I did that a week ago, I posted a half a booty pic, tits on shirts, butts on shirts of my ex, looking at my tits on shirts design with her butt hanging out. Now, mind you, all the other social medias, no problem. Twitter, X is part porn, faceless porn. Might as well go get it. Who else is out there? You name it. You can hop on anything, but they try to control your boy, Marky Saint. They blocked me for a week and rejected the appeal and gave me a strike on my account. So, 3 strikes and out. I don't even get strikes on this account. Last one was 90 days away, probably from some tits on shirt, some kind of design, hit the algorithm, the AI, saw a nipple, God forbid, small amount of weed, small amount of weed, small amount of nudity. When there's so much nudity on Instagram, and Pornhub is one click away. So they're just trying to shut me down and my expressions of nudity. Nudity isn't porn. You are human. You have a body. It functions. It has a look. It has enticements and disappointments. Welcome to independence. I mean, Jesus, dude. Like, if I had shown her JJ or some nip slip, I'd understand. But this had nothing. It was just the female form. And they still try to block it. So I lost a week of going live, but I didn't lose shit. I kept doing my stretches this morning, every morning, out here recording it. I'd upload it into my Google Drive, and maybe later I'll relaunch it. Like, why stop the message? This is what I love about YouTube, is that this is the #1 watch program in the world. That's right. Ask me why. Well, not only did I watch a special about it, and I know all the statistics, but now it's because it's free. Where in the world can you be free enough to hit the button and go live to the rest of the world? I now have producer access, world production access, just by hitting this one button and reaching whoever I want to reach and preach and teach to. With whatever message comes out of my mouth, there's no other forum like it. You go into the other ones and they're paid services, so that knocks them out. I don't care if it's Paramount, I don't care if it's Apple TV, I don't care if it's Roku, whatever else you can't pronounce or spell, all of those subscriptions. And Google gets to the top because they own YouTube, because there's no payment, and it's free to watch whoever you want to watch. You're free to consume whatever independent, not produced content like you're watching mine right now, instead of watching the same shit over and over again, highly produced, highly CGI, with all the money in the world. Where did they hide? They don't. They come up and say hi. Look at it. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know if you can see these beautiful red-breasted birds, but they come around me, bro. They come around and they say hello in the morning, and they get up early and they get their worm and they eat the food, and they are independent of control, independent of some fear guiding them, or someone else's religion or some kind of misinterpretation. They don't have any of that. They just have instincts. And unfortunately or fortunately, we became the top predator, apex predator on this planet. And not only did we get instincts, but we got desires. We got bigger brains that desire more. And in that desiring, we don't appreciate as much, right? We don't get to appreciate our independence as much because we've never been suppressed anywhere, right? You've never been some country where, they stop serving food because of Ramadan and you don't get to eat till after sunset, right? When's the last time you controlled your diet? Were you independent of that, or are you on a cycle where it's like hamburgers, 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 pizza, 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 ice cream, ice cream, ice cream? Right. They don't mind. There are plenty of people like Domino's and Pizza Hut that don't mind to pump you full of the shit that they can sell to you. They don't give a rat's ass. And I keep telling you, I don't know if you can see it, but the birds like to come around. He's on the fire stoop. It's so fucking cool. I'm an avid bird watcher. What can I say? I love nature. Maybe it's my earth side. Maybe it's because I'm a tourist, but it's true. And that's what ends up happening. You have all these other people subscribing to you, and now you got all this $15 here, Hulu, you name it. I'm looking at it in the morning or at night when we watch a movie together. So many free movies. We refuse to pay for any movies, but there they are. They want you to have their service, their HBO Max, and all these other things to steal away your independence. Before, you could spend the time any way you want, watch whatever show you want, whenever you want. Now, all of a sudden, you're like, this is the season. I have to finish season 3 of, what's the other one? What do they call it? Game of Thrones? Yeah, Yeah, I never even seen one episode of Game of Thrones. I wonder how many hours of my life I got back. You know what I mean? Just so I could sit in a pub one time and be like, yeah, that Viking shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? But that's what ends up happening. We give away our independent thinking because now they're programming us. Now you're on their timing. And like Michelle was saying, it was such a game changer because people used to have to record everything. There was a woman, I'm going to shout this black woman out, that wanted free education and free access to information. This is way like when the early days of the internet. This is the early 80s, late in the 70s. And she recorded, I think she said, over 88,000 tapes. They used to have to end dinner and get back home and hit the VCRs. When she died, 88,000 tapes of VHS of TV recorded because she felt like it should have been. Like that was our history. All the commercials, all the events were all recorded. And when she died, her kids found it, and there were 88,000 tapes of history of American TV and what the commercials were and all the TV programming. That's information, man. And that's what I'm seeking. I'm seeking information about myself. You know what I mean? That's the most important one, to get to know thyself. If I am independent, then that means no one is dependent on, well, people can be dependent on me, but I am not dependent on them. And that's a big difference. It's called self-sufficient. Humble, morning motivation, independent equals true reliance. Birds chirping and singing in the background. Morning wakes up plants. Yeah, baby. I love these chirps. You can hear them. And the other day on the perch right here, there was a fucking falcon. That little arch right here, just chilling the whole show. I'll launch that one later. But when they come over the top, they're like, big old 6 feet fucking wingspan. But this is my independence, to take my mornings on slow and not get all crazy in my own head or starting to sweat or dread if someone cares if I take my shirt off or independent of what they might think when I post my photos of my new body. That was a new thing too. It's like, if you're independent, then why are you dependent on their opinion, right? If you're so independent, then why are you dependent on that paycheck? If you're so independent, then why aren't you getting it from the earth? And that's why we have to have this conversation this morning, because independence means I'm not dependent on anything. I am empowered to do what I want, when I want, how I want. Now, right now, my money might be low, and that might sound cocky, but at least I have the ways to raise funds, move my future, and make my websites come up. Now, that's my own journey, right? Everybody else is going to have their own journey. At first, you're born usually within a family, so that's one unit that you have to break free from. You don't believe me? Ask all the wolves in Yellowstone, right? If you're a male wolf, you can't hang out with the pack. There's already an alpha male and female, bro. After a while, they stop feeding you. They stop sharing the kill. And you're going to have to find either your own girl, right, and start a family, an own pack, or you're going to have to forever be an independent wolf. Well, it seems like I'll be forever an independent wolf because I haven't found the girl that wants to have the babies yet to make my own pack, and therefore I'm an alpha male solo. Then this is very independent stuff, right? When you're solo, that means I'm not dependent on your approval, right? And that also means I'm free from your rejection and censorship, YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, wave me, trade me. There's so many other fucking places to get on, bro. There's so many other places to move my energies and share my information. Me and my spiritual mentor, we're going to start doing, he calls it Love is the Cure. You know, we're going to start doing some speaking engagements. How fucking cool is that? That somewhere where I started, when my spiritual mentor is now asking me to do speaking engagements with him, it's crazy. So, do you want to be independent? Right? Do you want different results? Yeah. Then you got Saint's addiction, because my addictions weren't creating me as an independent person. Matter of fact, it almost says dependence in addiction. If you look closely at like the reflection of the light bouncing off of addiction, it means dependence. It means that I wasn't sorted enough, so I looked outside of myself for more sorting, right? Like my family wasn't enough, so I started hanging out with these people that didn't care about me, but they gave me drugs. You know, I keep saying it with Ricky Ross. He was like, those aren't my friends. They just didn't have the $300 to do the cocaine. So they got me to do the cocaine so they could do cocaine with me. And when I came to, I was $300 lighter, and I said I would never do that drug again. One of the number one kingpins of cocaine. It's crazy, like how unindependent we are. This crazy how much groupthink dictates how much we do, right? Like if all our friends are doing it, guess who's booking the ticket? Hey, we all got tickets to EDC, bro. Where you at? And you're like, normally I don't have $1,000 to spend on a weekend in Las Vegas, but now all my friends are going, and there's an unknown pressure, right? Like this, the censorship. There's an unknown pressure for me to not show booty in female form in my sexuality. There's an unknown pressure that's trying to stop me from being my sexual self. And they just want me to be a saint instead of having faceless porn or even having sex every day or sexual desires. I'm supposed to be a preacher. Well, I'm a naughty preacher, bro. I'm a mistake master. I'm not the one to be your hero. You know, I'm not trying to, like Eminem, I'm not the one your kid should be following. Yeah, I'm a success story, but I'm high on pills, bro. Not me, but he was. And that's what we do. They say you never want to meet your hero because you'll find out that they're real like you. And that's what Saint's addiction was all about, bro. The real is inside you. I love to pretend that my halo is always on and rainbows and butterflies come out of my ass, but that's just not true. The perfect people have addictions too. They're not independent, they're dependent. They gotta have their cocaine, they gotta have their alcohol, they gotta have some kind of substance or attitude or emotion to keep going. How many people you know complain about every meal before it shows up? I'll wait. Yeah, bro, me too. Let's get some joints in here, because it wouldn't be Weed Club without it. But yeah, bro, me too. I've seen that shit before, where people try to be all on the floor and don't know what to do and don't know why they feel the way that they feel, or why they're doing the drugs that they do. I'm telling you right here, right now, it's all an inside job, right? It's all the way that you put your power, the one power that you have in life, right, is to be woken up, to live a life that you love, and doing things that you want to do when you want to do them. And I think that's the ultimate definition of success. If you ask your boy, what's his name? What was his name? Tony Robbins, right? If you want to ask Tony Robbins, it's doing what you want with who you want for as long as you want. That would be dope. That's pretty successful. I would like to be unfuckwithable, as the one girl eloquently put it. She was just like, I was like, oh, okay, what do you want to do? You want to lose weight? You want to get in shape? She said, Mark, I just want to be unfuckwithable. And that never left me, because, I mean, in essence, that's what we all want, right? We don't want anybody to want to start a fight with us. When someone starts a fight with us, we can end it. And more importantly, we can stop it inside of ourselves because we are independently thinking. We're not dependent on the outcomes of things. We're not dependent on them liking us or being our friends. These are huge things because now you're not in group think anymore. Now you're not just abiding by the tide and just going with the flow. Now you know. And that's important, bro. I used to say flow over know, but it helps when you know and you're in flow. Then you're independent. Then what's the not only is it detachment, but the word was when you're indifferent is when you're independent. You know, when neither the negative nor the positive sways you. Mostly saints, you got halo and horn. You know, all things are weighed equally, black and white, yin and yang. It's not like all things are dominated by one thing and only one thing has the answers. No, sir, no, ma'am. This is independence. This is independent of what the crowd thinks, independent if I'm going to be popular, independent if someone's going to like me. I chose me. And me has to be free, has to be free of someone else's judgment. And just like I told my girl, she's the happiest girl that this girl, hold on. Morning burps. This nurse on TikTok that works at a hospice and all these people are dying. And you know what they're telling her? Life stories, bro. And like, I wish I never listened to Debbie down the street. I would have done more fearless things. You know, if I didn't care what she thought, I would have done more. Right? Like, how many of us are holding back because our parents might judge us? I'll wait. My dad said he would disown me if I ever got a tattoo. Right? Michelle's over here with 26 tattoos. Her dad's taking $1,000 off of her will for every tattoo she gets. That's $26,000, bro. That's a car. And that's conditional love. So again, how independent are you if you got to call your daddy, bail me out? You know what I mean? If you want to make decisions with your life and you have to consult someone else. And then if you're not even internal enough to do it with yourself, that's why you got to sit still and have a conversation inside and say, what's worth it to me? What am I battling for? What's my message? You know, because that's the only independence that you got. Now, there's some things that you're not going to be independent from, like taking a shit, taking a shower, and having to wake up. That's going to happen regardless. That's human functionality. But while you're alive, all right? While you have this light of life in you, join Weed Club, Saints Addiction. I feel like a Native American. I put it in me. I keep that thing on me. And I sit still long enough and ask myself the tough questions. And then I guide myself. That's independence. It's not someone else. It's not to impress someone else. I've scared away more people than I've tried to impress. It wasn't to get more sales or become a big success, although that would be nice in this life. It was for me to be free from mental slavery and being stressed all the time and having all my bills freak me out and not being able to calm myself, right? It's me being able to get up in the morning without a boss. I still get up early and I can put that time in me, in my body, in my mentality, instead of being running around traffic, hating life, having someone else's clothes on, right? Now I'm wearing my own clothes instead of someone else's last name. This is gonna be mine, all right? So, you know, it was just a change of attitude. It was a changing of the guard, as they say, in Buckingham Palace or anywhere else that you go. You know, what you've been doing has been getting you those results. And to get different results, you're going to have to change your habits. And that's this morning marijuana motivation. If you got anything out of this, what do you say? Independence is action and freedom is the emotion. Yeah, bro, I got to screenshot that. We got the Harley guy coming out this morning. Where are you at, though, bro? Oh, I thought he was going to come by. And that's no lie, bro. That's what it is. You got to stop lying to yourself. And I think that's independence. So as long time ago, before we gained our independence, before, I think the French Revolution was before us, before our revolution. Anyway, everybody was tossing their old bourgeoisie and people trying to control them and people trying to be king. And then we have this new reality where we don't have people doing those things to us. Energy Mega, yo. Do you think it's worth it to go to Artemis? Hey, dude, somebody's asking about Artemis on the show. Do I ever, bro? I did the review. That's why you're in this show, bro. It's a man's paradise. Get up in there and show me a review if you don't mind. Let me know how you do. I love that. That Artemis thing is blown up. All the guys have hit me up like, bro, you're a cool dude. I want to meet you. Some guy hit me up and kind of started befriending me. But hey, there's the chainsaw. It started with fireworks. The Independence is over. That's the show. Go to Artemis. Go to Saints Addiction. Buy a shirt. Represent, baby, baby. Peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side. Before you like, share, and subscribe. He said, let's go together, bro. I'm all the way in America, bro. Like, you buying tickets to Berlin? I don't think so. So next time I'm there, we can go. Because I'll be up there in the sauna. In that hot tub. I can't wait, bro. And I'll be up by that bar, chopping up them birds. Big boy. 100%. I love you guys. Go be free. I'll see you on the other side. Peace.